Every day, something dramatic happens in the Caribbean that affects our lives. We'll give you the details. We'll give you the facts on Caribbean Perspective with Eddie Frederick. Here's Eddie Frederick.
So glad you can join us. Inflation in Jamaica up 2% higher than the Bank of Jamaica's forecast. This story takes the lead in today's edition of Caribbean Perspective for Friday, 18th August 2023. Details after this important message.
Hubbard's Multi-Department Mount Gay and Hubbard's Tire Bay, located at the Building Supplies Compound in Grand Anse, are reminding the motoring public that another round for licensing and inspection has begun. Just arrived on new shipments of quality furrowed and torque tires to fit all makes and models of vehicles at competitive pricing. Shop early to avoid the hassle of long lines. WhatsApp them on 473-405-5482. Hubbard's, quality service, affordable prices.
Welcome back. Jamaica's annual inflation at July was 6.6%, higher than the Bank of Jamaica's forecast. Javon Keys of TVJ Business Day reports.
Annual inflation as of July was 6.6%, and that's just outside of the central bank's target range. Director General of Statin, Carol Coy, says this was linked to higher food prices,
which increased by 11.3%. Restaurants and accommodation services, which went up by 12.4%. Furnishings, household equipment, and routine household maintenance, which went up by 11.3%, and housing, water, electricity, gas, and other fuels, which increased by 1.4%.
Now, the BOJ's target range is 4 to 6%. July's point-to-point rate is just above June's annual rate of price increases, which was 6.3%. Meanwhile, for the month of July alone, inflation was 1.1%.
Influencing the inflation rate was a 2.3% increase in the index for the heaviest weighted division, food and non-alcoholic beverages. The rise in the index for the food and non-alcoholic beverages division resulted mainly from a 9.9% increase in the index for the class vegetables, tubers, plantains, cooking bananas, and pulses. The prevailing drought conditions continue to adversely affect the supply of agricultural produce, such as cabbage, Irish potato, tomato, sweet pepper, and yellow yam, resulting in consumers paying higher prices for these items.
In the meantime, the nation's unemployment rate continues its downward trajectory, with a notable uptick in youth employment and an increased presence of females joining the workforce. These revelations emerge from the latest findings of the Labor Force Survey conducted by the Statistical Institute of Jamaica, Statin, in April of 2023. CVM's Nika Lewis has more.
The Labor Force Survey has again shown signs of life with an increase in employment and a further decline in the country's unemployment rate, both fueled by an increase in females entering the workforce.
There were 1,373,800 persons in the labor force, and this is an increase of 1.7%, primarily as a result of an increase in the number of females in the labor force. The number of persons in the employed in April 2023 increased by 43,300, or 3.4% compared to April 2022. Females accounted for over 2/3 of this increase.
Ms. Coy explains the largest increase in employment occurred in the real estate and other businesses category, which includes business process outsourcing. She also cites an all-round increase in employment in all age groups. However, there has been a trim to employment in the much-touted agriculture sector.
Despite the increase in employment across most industry groups, there was a downturn in the numbers employed in the agriculture, forestry, and fishing industry. In April 2023, there were 7,800, or 4.1% less persons working in this industry compared to the same quarter in 2022.
The Director General unveiled the historically low rates of unemployment as reflected in the Labor Force surveys in April.
The unemployment rate in April 2023 was 4.5%, and this was 1.5 percentage points lower than the same quarter in 2022. The unemployment rate moved down for both males and females. The male unemployment rate was 3.4%, while the unemployment rate for females was 5.7%.
Meantime, the youth unemployment rate declined by 12.2%, with a 3 percentage point decline when compared to April last year. And similarly, Ms. Coy says this was primarily driven by female employment. Nika Lewis, CVM Live.
In a follow-up to a commentary regarding major issues with the Citizenship by Investment program in St. Kitts and Nevis, socio-political commentator Dwyer Astafan called on Prime Minister Drew and his administration to remove so-called bad actors from the program. Glenn Bart of SKN Newsline reports.
Having made significant alterations to the regulations and laws governing the CBI program, Astafan said it was time for the government to move against agents and service providers who have been abusing the program and breaking laws.
If you examine the CBI sector thoroughly, you will learn that there are people earning massive amounts of money and paying no taxes. You will find people operating through entities which are not in good standing. The changing of the regulations has been great, and maybe some more changes in time to come. But the next most crucial, critical, and vital step to be taken is to get rid of the bad eggs, those inside and those outside. And I'm calling on the Drew administration to move in that direction without delay. The wheels of justice have been put into motion, and none of the culprits shall escape. Whether here or abroad, the net has been thrown.
Meanwhile, there is growing sentiment that CBI funds need to be effectively used to develop the country. Glenn Bart reporting for SKN Newsline.
You're listening to Caribbean Perspective with Eddie Frederick.
A former Bahamian parliamentarian, Cynthia Pratt, named as the next Governor General. Here is ZNS's Lloyd Allen with details.
The Right Honorable Cynthia Pratt, affectionately called Mother Pratt, in many regards is recognized as a stellar politician and a respected member of the St. Cecilia constituency, where she served as Member of Parliament for a number of years. Now, but today, Pratt prepares to ascend to a new post, the 12th Governor General of the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. I sat with her at a beloved Coconut Grove home earlier today to learn more from the woman who, throughout her life, remains a symbol of inspiration and hope.
I'm humbled. I'm thankful, and I give God the praise. And at this time, I would publicly love to thank my Prime Minister for considering me, and of course the Bahamian people who've supported me these many years.
The Right Honorable Cynthia Mother Pratt sharing that over her career, there were numerous moments which helped to prepare her for this newest chapter.
I've sat in so many seats before of leadership. If you can recall, the Prime Minister had a massive stroke, and I was thrust into the leadership of the country.
With a number of history-making moments, including the first female Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of National Security, Pratt also revealing one feat which remains critical to her mission of service to her community and nation building.
The first woman
with a number of history-making moments, including the first female Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of National Security, Pratt also revealing one feat which remains critical to her mission of service to her community and nation building.
The inner city, particularly who lives among the people. And I believe I'm the only woman who still lives among our people.
And as for her legacy,
I want my people to know there once was a woman from the inner city who God had lifted up from the pit to the palace. That is most important for God to get the glory.
Pratt's children also sharing their excitement.
to see where she came from, to see where she is today. I mean, it's been a long struggle. And I mean, basically, with the family, we get used to sharing our mother our whole life.
Now, since leaving frontline politics, Mrs. Pratt has dedicated her life to numerous roles, including an ordained minister and co-chair of the Urban Renewal Commission. In that press release issued from the office of the Prime Minister, the Honorable Philip Davis, noting, quote, "I am confident that the appointment of Cynthia Pratt will be widely accepted as a representation of Bahamians everywhere due to the character and contributions which distinguish her as a nationalist of the highest order." The Right Honorable Cynthia Pratt's term as Governor General comes into effect September 1st, 2023. Reporting live from Studio for the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Lloyd Allen.
Trinidad and Tobago's Elections and Boundaries Commission says the voter turnout in Monday's local government election was 30.34%. The elections saw a repeat of the result in the 2019 local government election, as the PNM and the UNC again each won control of 7 of the 14 municipal corporations. But which party won the popular vote? And how many votes did the other parties receive? TV6's political editor Jewel Brown provides the details.
In announcing its preliminary results on Tuesday, the Elections and Boundaries Commission said with an electorate of 1,091,935 in 141 electoral districts in Trinidad, there was a voter turnout of 30.34% for the 2023 local government elections on Monday. The EBC said the total votes cast were 331,300, with 996 rejected ballots. This is less than the 34.7% of voter turnout in the 2019 local government elections. The EBC's report on the local government elections, which occurred on December 2nd, 2019, states that out of an electorate of 1,079,976, 374,878 people voted in that election. Late Monday night, both the PNM, which is led by Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley, and the UNC, which is led by Opposition Leader Kamla Persad-Bissessar, declared that they each won 7 of the 14 municipalities in Trinidad in the 2023 local government elections. They retained the exact same corporations they won in the 2019 local government elections. In 2019, the EBC had said its preliminary results then showed that the PNM received 161,962 votes and the UNC received 202,584 votes in that year's local government elections. On Tuesday, the EBC said that the PNM received 130,868 votes in the 2023 local government elections, while the UNC received 173,961 votes. This means more people voted for the UNC than the PNM by a difference of 43,093 votes. The UNC's coalition partner, the NTA, which is led by former Police Commissioner Guy Griffith, received 15,997 votes, according to the EBC. The EBC said the PEP, which is led by Philip Alexander, received 5,930 votes, while its coalition partner, the Reunited Farmers Alliance, received 1,041 votes. The PDP, which is led by Watson Duke, received 1,287 votes. The EBC also said that 45 people voted for the National Party, 234 people voted for the Trinidad Humanity Campaign, and 110 people voted for the Unity of the People. As for the 6 independent candidates, the EBC said Vivian Johnson received 128 votes in Belmont South, Kathleen Wellington received 55 votes in Blanchisseuse Santa Rosa, Irving Samuel Felix received 57 votes in Hollywood, Kendall Michael Hagley received 191 votes in Melrose South, Guagari, Dixie Ann Elliott received 140 votes in Pleasantville, and Gwendolyn Alana Charles received 96 votes in Valencia West. The ABC said recounts in 14 electoral districts had begun on Tuesday afternoon. Jewel Brown, TV6 News.
The hurricane season is now upon us, so we as Caribbean people need to remember to think safety and be prepared. Avoid venturing outside during a storm or hurricane, especially if there are strong winds. Rooftops and other debris are often blown about and can cause great damage.
I am Eddie Frederick, wishing you a restful weekend. This has been Caribbean Perspective, a whole new approach to highlighting developments in the Caribbean. In the meantime, please continue to log on to CaribbeanPerspective.com for more daily news and more.